How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I am going to be ranking all 63 episodes of Better Call Saul from the worst to the best. Now, as I mentioned in my Breaking Bad video, I don't actually think there's a bad episode here. This was super difficult to make, and maybe even more so than the Breaking Bad video, because there's just so many great episodes here. And either way, people are going to be upset with my rankings. I'm sure someone's favorite episode is going to be ranked a little bit lower, so I apologize for that. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump on into this, starting with my least favorite episode of Better Call Saul. An episode that I don't think's bad, just it's my least favorite episode. So, yeah, number 63 is Season 1, Episode 5, Alpine Shepherd Boy. Now, I do think it's kind of fun seeing Jimmy try and find clients, but I can't exactly say this is a super thrilling episode. All the Chuck stuff I didn't care much for. However, getting that tiny peek at Mike's life at the end was cool and keeps you intrigued. Number 62, Season 1, Episode 7, Bingo. While this may be an important episode of the series, since we do get to see what will happen to the Kettlemans, the majority is pretty slow-paced and takes its time. It isn't too investing at moments, but I still don't hate this one. At least it has less of Chuck being annoying. Number 61, Season 1, Episode 8, Rico. Now, this episode's mainly enjoyable because we get to see Chuck and Jimmy working together. Chuck's actually not an asshole here, and that's a plus. But that's about all this episode has going for it. Number 60, Season 2, Episode 10, Klick. Apart from the ending, this episode is pretty uninteresting. I mean, I like the small tease of Gus with the don't note, but even that just doesn't add a lot to the episode. I mean, Chuck's unbearable here, and it's just so annoying. I still find this one to be alright, though, mainly because of the great acting given by Bob Odenkirk and Michael McKean. Number 59, Season 2, Episode 8, Fifi. Honestly, this isn't a super terrific episode. I do like seeing Jimmy and his film crew attempt to film another commercial, though. So at the end of the day, I guess this is just fine. Number 58, Season 3, Episode 1, Mabel. Unfortunately, this isn't a really great start to his season. It's not bad by any means, but its pacing's quite slow, and I feel like it's on the verge of being really great, but the ending cuts off right where things start to get interesting. I don't know, it's kind of frustrating. Number 57, Season 6, Episode 6, Axe and Grind. Out of all the Season 6 episodes, this one's the most forgettable in my opinion. This installment does its job in terms of setting up the mid-season finale, but looking back, I can't say this one's anything super remarkable. Number 56, Season 6, Episode 10, Nippy. Now, a lot have claimed this to be the Fly episode of Better Call Saul. I, for one, liked Fly, and I like this episode. However, this just doesn't compare to some of these other ones. It maybe takes its time just a little too much. Number 55, Season 2, Episode 9, Nailed. I think this episode can be somewhat boring, but the ending more or less makes up for it. It's a very engaging last few minutes and keeps you interested, but apart from that ending, that's about it. Number 54, Season 1, Episode 10, Marco. Now, for a finale, this isn't really great, but if it was a regular episode, I suppose it'd be alright. I mean, there's a lot of subtle Breaking Bad Easter eggs that make this feel worthwhile. Number 53, Season 6, Episode 5, Black and Blue. The Howard and Jimmy fight was maybe a little too silly. Just a little. I don't know. The Lalo stuff at the end is fantastic, however. Number 52, Season 3, Episode 7, Expenses. Now, this episode definitely develops the plot, but it's not extremely good. I mean, I like the Nacho scenes. Everything else, it just doesn't grasp my attention too much. It's a fine episode. Number 51, Season 3, Episode 8, Slip. Similar to the previous episode, the Nacho scenes are without a doubt the highlight of this one. I mean, seeing Nacho get the pills in Hector's coat is just super suspenseful. I mean, I love that. Number 50, Season 2, Episode 5, Rebecca. While this isn't an awful episode, it's definitely not too engaging. However, there's a very good montage sequence with Kim, and seeing Hector Salamanca make an appearance boosts this episode up a bit. Number 49, Season 1, Episode 4, Hero. Jimmy's hero stunt is without a doubt the highlight of the episode. The rest of the runtime's fine. It's just not incredible, I guess. Number 48, Season 4, Episode 4, Talk. I really like the Mike and Nacho stuff in this episode, and the Salamanca shootout is great, but as a whole, this wasn't amazing. I found some scenes that weren't extremely interesting. Number 47, Season 2, Episode 3, Amarillo. I think there's some good stuff in here, especially with Jimmy making the commercial for Davis and Maine, but there's also a few boring spots, but this is a solid episode, I guess. Number 46, Season 6, Episode 4, Hit and Run. Coming off of Rock and Hard Place, I think this episode got a bit of a bad rap. I mean, I thought this was a very fun episode, and seeing Kim meet Mike for the first time was sick. Number 45, Season 4, Episode 6, Piñata. Honestly, the majority of the episode isn't great, but I think the last 10 minutes or so are super fun and thrilling, to be honest. I mean, seeing Jimmy intimidate those guys who beat him up in the previous episode was really satisfying and badass. Number 44, Season 1, Episode 3, Nacho. This is a decent episode. I like seeing Mike and Jimmy's relationship start to form a little here. And it's also fun seeing Jimmy find the Kettlemans. Number 43, Season 3, Episode 9, Fall. There's a fair amount of stuff to love about this episode. I really enjoy everything on the cartel side of things. I also appreciated the turmoil Howard and Chuck were going through. The ending's pretty crazy, leaving off on a bit of a cliffhanger, so yeah, good episode. Number 42, Season 5, Episode 5, Dedicado on Max. Overall, a somewhat tedious episode that develops the current plot the least, in my opinion, but it still has many engaging moments. I mean, the ending scene with Gus and Mike is very good, in my opinion, and is really important for those two characters. Number 41, Season 6, Episode 1, Wine and Roses. Now, the opening sequence showcasing Saul's house, it's just rad. It's a great start to the final season, in my opinion. Number 40, Season 6, Episode 2, Carrot and Stick. Seeing the Kettlemans again was great, so fun, and I really enjoyed the nacho sequence at the motel. It was very intense, solid installment. Number 39, Season 4, Episode 5, Quite a Ride. The flash-forward opening scene is very cool. I like all the stuff that regards Jimmy in this episode. The Kim scenes weren't particularly interesting, but they weren't bad either. This one's pretty nice overall. Number 38, Season 4, Episode 7, Something Stupid. The opening sequence is fantastic. I really love the stuff with Huel and Jimmy, and just generally thought this was a decent watch. Number 37, Season 5, Episode 6, Wexler v. Goodman. This one's good. Probably has one of the most shocking twists out of all the episodes, and has an engaging performance by Bob Odenkirk in the scene when he's trying to blackmail Mesa Verde. Number 36, Season 6, Episode 11, Breaking Bad. In theory, I should like this episode more than I do, but for me, this is relatively middle of the road. Don't get me wrong, though. I think it's a great episode. I mean, how can you not love seeing Walt and Jesse again? Number 35, Season 4, Episode 9, Wiedersehen. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. The Kim and Jimmy scenes in here are really fantastic, and I thought the ending leaves off on a pretty suspenseful note that definitely keeps you invested. Number 34, Season 2, Episode 6, Bali Ha'i. There's a lot of great Mike stuff in this episode, and the appearance of the Salamanca twins was a highlight as well. Number 33, Season 5, Episode 10, Something Unforgivable. I have a strange feeling toward this episode because in many ways it was underwhelming the first time I saw it. However, giving it some more thought, I've realized it's a pretty good conclusion to the 5th season, and one that leaves the door open for many things to come in the final season. Number 32, Season 1, Episode 9, Pimento. Seeing Mike start to get into this world of working with drug dealers is fascinating. There's some pretty comical scenes with him in here. Also, the ending with Jimmy finding out about Chuck calling Howard is honestly one of the best moments of the series. Chuck's dialogue relates so much to what ends up happening in Breaking Bad, and it's just so good. Number 31, Season 5, Episode 2, 50% Off. A good continuation of a terrific premiere. All the scenes regarding Nacho and Lalo are really great. I also enjoyed the stuff with Jimmy quite a bit. Number 30, Season 5, Episode 7, JMM. Gus blowing up Los Pollos Hermanos is incredibly badass, and the confrontation between Jimmy and Howard at the end is just fantastic. Solid episode. Number 29, Season 3, Episode 3, Sunk Costs. This is a solid episode overall. Seeing Jimmy get arrested and Mike diving more and more into this life of crime is just great. Number 28, Season 6, Episode 13, Saul Gone. Wonderful finale. My only gripe is that we didn't really get a baby blue kind of moment for the show. However, ending it in silence is a nice choice. Number 27, Season 3, Episode 10, Lantern. Now this feels like a finale, and that's not to dig at Saul Gone. Many things occur here, most notably Hector Salamanca having a stroke and Chuck committing suicide. Chuck and Jimmy's final conversation is pretty emotional, and this is just a good way to wrap up Season 3. Number 26, Season 4, Episode 8, Coushatta. This is a terrific episode. I really enjoyed Jimmy's scheme to try and get Huel out of getting jail time, and I don't know, I just thought this one was super fun. Number 25, Season 6, Episode 12, Waterworks. Vince's last episode, and he goes out with a bang. Love seeing where Kim was, and her conversation with Jesse, it's just very good. Number 24, Season 3, Episode 5, Chicanery. On paper, this episode seems like it would be boring, but it really isn't. The majority takes place in a courtroom, and it's pretty damn entertaining. There's some great acting here. Also, seeing Huel make an appearance for the first time in the show was just awesome. Number 23, Season 2, Episode 7, Inflatable. There's a lot of great character development for Jimmy in this episode, and that's partly why it's ranked so high. Number 22, Season 2, Episode 2, Cobbler. Jimmy explaining to the cops what Squad Cobbler is one of the funniest scenes in the whole show. I know, some people would not rank this episode this high, but it's funny. Number 21, Season 5, Episode 1, Magic Man. A great opening to the 5th season that explores Jimmy diving more and more into the Saul Goodman persona. The flash-forward scene at the beginning is extremely intense and keeps you on your toes, and everything with Lalo, Gus, and Mike's great. Number 20, Season 4, Episode 2, Breathe. This episode just keeps the ball rolling after a solid premiere, and it's very good. It has terrific acting by Ray Ciorn and Giancarlo Esposito. There's so many great scenes with them in here. Number 19, Season 4, Episode 1, Smoke. This is just a very good start to the season. It deals with the aftermath of the finale in such a brilliant fashion. Seeing Jimmy's reaction to Chuck's death is really fascinating. Good episode. Number 18, Season 3, Episode 2, Witness. This is the cameo extravaganza episode. We get to see Francesca, Los Pollos Hermanos, Victor, and Gus Fring himself for the very first time in the series. And it's kind of iconic. Number 17, Season 2, Episode 1, Switch. This episode's very solid. I mean, it definitely feels like the turning point of the series in a way. It's paced well, and the Ken cameo's great. A good start to Season 2. Number 16, Season 2, Episode 4, Gloves Off. Mike taking that beating from Tuco is such a great scene. I also love the Crazy 8 cameo. However, there's some moments in the episode that can drag it down, but I don't know. Mike versus Tuco is just, yeah. Number 15, Season 5, Episode 9, Bad Choice Road. I mean, this episode honestly deserves to be this high solely because of its end scene. One of the most intense moments in any TV show, period. Number 14, Season 6, Episode 8, Point and Shoot. Lalo's final episode, and I really enjoyed it. This was just an adrenaline rush all the way through. Fantastic. Number 13, Season 3, Episode 4, Sabrosito. Surprisingly enough, Jimmy not being the main focus of the episode was just fine to me. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff with Gus and Hector that's truly fascinating to watch. Very good episode. Number 12, Season 4, Episode 3, Something Beautiful. There are many great things about this episode. All the stuff with Nacho getting shot was super intense, and the ending with Jimmy reading the letter was just great. And the Gale cameo. Come on, guys. Number 11, Season 1, Episode 1, Uno. Just an amazing start to the show. It has references to Breaking Bad while also being its own thing, and all these years later, it still manages to be this high on the list. Number 10, Season 5, Episode 4, Namaste. A very brilliant installment that has many great character moments, especially all the stuff with Hank and Gomi and Jimmy and Howard. Who can forget the bowling ball scene? I don't know. It's kind of classic for me. Number 9, Season 1, Episode 2, Mijo. Now, the first half with Tuco out in the desert's really great stuff. And is that why the episode's ranked this high? Maybe. Number 8, Season 6, Episode 3, Rockin' Hard Place. Nacho. What a character. And what a way to go out. This was an amazing episode. Wow. Number 7, Season 1, Episode 6, 5-0. This episode's a really nice change of pace, and seeing Mike's backstory and him killing the cops who murdered his son is very interesting. And Jonathan Banks' acting is amazing here. It's without doubt his best performance of all time. Number 6, Season 3, Episode 6, Off Brand. I don't know. This episode is just super great. There's so much to talk about. I mean, I don't have time to say much other than seeing Lydia making a return was just really cool, and Jimmy making his first Saul Goodman commercial where he really actually uses that name was awesome. And Nacho's character development was interesting to watch. I mean, this is a terrific episode in my opinion. Number 5, Season 5, Episode 3, The Guy for This. Magnificent episode. Obviously, Hank and Gomi's appearance is incredible. But not only that, I mean, there's so many great character moments in this. Everyone had a scene to shine, and it's really amazing. Number 4, Season 6, Episode 9, Fun and Games. In many ways, this is the finale of the series. It wraps up a lot of stories and plot lines absolutely beautifully, and it was glorious. Number 3, Season 6, Episode 7, Plan and Execution. I would actually go as far to say this is the Ozymandias of Better Call Saul. It's perfect. However, there's still 2 more spots on the list. Number 2, Season 4, Episode 10, Winner. What an absolutely incredible episode. I mean, this is by far the most emotional one of the entire series, in my opinion. Not only because of Mike and Werner's heartbreaking confrontation, but also because of Jimmy's inner struggles with Chuck. It is just remarkably written and executed. Perfect. And remember, the winner takes it all. Number 1, Season 5, Episode 8, Bagman. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than this. It's an incredibly intense watch from start to finish. Absolutely magnificent filmmaking. And it's just awesome seeing Jimmy and Mike together for so long in this episode. And yeah, I think there's a reason they flashed back to this episode in the series finales. But yeah, that's my ranking of all 63 episodes of Better Call Saul. Now it's time for me to hear your ranking down in the comments below. If you don't want to rank all 63, you can just give me your top 10 or some of your least favorites, some of your favorite episodes down in the comments. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Boop.